Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Last week, I had my head handed to me. Week 9 of the National Football League. I was 5-8, 3 games under 500. The honor roll, always 100. He was 4-2. He made an excellent call on LSU over Alabama. Let's get into it this week. Hopefully we'll do better. I like the under 68.5 in the Stanford versus Oregon game. Look up their defenses. Both teams have solid defenses. Stanford's defense is the top-ranked defense in the Pac-10. 68.5 points, that's an awful lot, especially when both teams have a lot riding on this game. I like the under 68.5 in the Stanford game. I like the Houston Texans -3 over Tampa in Tampa. Let me point out that Houston is a serious sleeper in general in the AFC. While everyone's looking at Baltimore and Pittsburgh and New England, Houston has quietly averaged 155 rushing yards a game. And keep in mind, that's with high-powered quarterback Matt Schaub. Take a look at his numbers compared to the other top quarterbacks in the league. Now, Tampa's defense isn't good against the run. They're giving up 132 rushing yards a game. I'm guessing that Foster and Ben Tate have a field day. Let me also point out, too, that Josh Freeman and Tampa's offense is really a passer in a passing offense. And Houston has one of the best pass defenses in the league statistically. I like Houston laying the 3 over Tampa in Tampa. Here's my most controversial pick of the week. I like the Seattle Seahawks getting 7 points over the Baltimore Ravens in Seattle. Let me just point out, I know people are cringing, but the numbers are what they are. Seattle beat the New York Giants earlier this year. Seattle only lost by 2 to the Atlanta Falcons. Not only that, Seattle got beaten up by Cincinnati. Or did they? Look deeper than the final score. You'll see that Seattle actually outgained Cincinnati in that game by a wide margin. Let me also point out that Baltimore, in my opinion, is primed for a letdown after hurting me last week by beating the Steelers in the last minute of their game. Baltimore has had a little bit of a rugged up-and-down performance. Keep in mind, they beat the Steelers week 1 and then faded in subsequent weeks. I'm expecting Baltimore to have a little bit of a letdown. I think they're going to have a hard time beating Seattle by 7 in Seattle. I like Seattle +7. Also, I like the Dallas Cowboys laying 6 points over the Buffalo Bills in Dallas. You know, it might shock some people, but the Dallas Cowboys have averaged more than 400 yards of offense per game. Just to put it in perspective, that's more than the New York Giants. That's more than the Detroit Lions. Now, Buffalo, and I know when you think of Buffalo, you think of a high-powered offense, the offense that decimated Kansas City week 1. But that offense doesn't seem to exist anymore because the last 3 games, Buffalo hasn't topped 24 points. Also, if you look at last week, you're going to see, I know the Jets roughed up Buffalo, but Fred Jackson actually did average more than 4 yards a carry. The problem was Ryan Fitzpatrick. The problem were Jets standing in the passing lanes of the Buffalo Bills. I believe that Jason Garrett and the Dallas Cowboys have the blueprint on how to beat Buffalo. I like Dallas, a team that, quite frankly, statistically is better than their one-loss record. I like Dallas to beat Buffalo by at least 6 points at home. Let me also add one more pick. The New York Giants against San Francisco. Big game out here by the Bay. You know, as good as San Francisco is against the run, and they're great defensively, would it surprise you to learn that they give up more than 250 yards passing on average per game? Now let's talk about Eli Manning, right? You know, the problem with judging quarterbacks is we like a quarterback who looks like a leader, right? A guy who in the huddle just demands and gets respect, right? Peyton Manning looks like a leader, comes in, rallies the troops, a general you can run behind. Eli Manning, a much more type B personality. He's not a type A personality, at least not his press persona, right? But is it possible? Look at the numbers. This is a guy who has passed for more than 4,000 yards multiple times in the past and who currently is on pace to pass for more than 4,700 yards. Not only that, if you look at the Giants' record in the fourth quarter of games, you know, Eli Manning brings the guys back from the abyss repeatedly. They were about to lose against the Miami Dolphins. Eli Manning brought them back. They were about to lose last week against the New England Patriots. Eli Manning brought them back. And when you look at Eli Manning, you know, he doesn't really look like he has the rocket arm that we like with quarterbacks, right? We look at a Troy Aikman and we say, oh, I like that guy's arm. You know, you like guys who can zip it in. But is it possible that Eli Manning is one of the elite schematic quarterbacks in the National Football League? Someone who can read defenses, make adjustments, make the throws. Someone who can lose one of his primary receivers, have an unknown, Victor Cruz, step in, and then have Victor Cruz be one of the league's more productive wide receivers over the last 5 weeks, right? I think Eli Manning is going to figure out the San Francisco 49er defense. I don't know if he beats San Francisco. San Francisco's a pretty good team that's already beaten teams like the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not sure if he beats San Francisco, but I'm expecting the Giants to put up points. And the over-under of, I believe it's around 42. Double check me on this. But that over-under looks awfully low when you're dealing with a defense that gives up more than 200 passing yards a game, right? I understand Ahmad Bradshaw is out. Who cares? You know, the Giants are actually more about Eli Manning passing the ball to the wide receivers and spreading out the field than they are about relying on their running game. I like the over in the Giant San Francisco 49er game. There you have it. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments for me here on YouTube. I've tried this week to explain my picks. I know some of you last week said, hey, how do you explain your choice here? Let me know if you like the new format. Let me know what your picks are. If you're the man, like always 100 was last week, I'll certainly give you props in the weekly honor roll. Thanks for watching.